Alright, welcome back to another episode of Tony Specs, which is a funny, I don't know, well, anyway, that's a little humor from me. But anyways, with this second episode of Tony Specs, we'll just be going over something I'm pretty pumped about, and I was like, at first I didn't think it was gonna be worth it at all, but now that I see it, it seems worth every penny. No, but anyways, so we'll get to it. Yeah, Eternal Masters, the spoilers have been just coming in like crazy. But yeah, the mythics were pretty good for the first 2 days, and then now we're starting to get those junk rares, the junk mythics and all that. And yeah, and pretty much the only thing that's been good, pretty good consistently, is the commons and uncommons, which is gonna make limited really fun. And that's why I saw it. I'm like, you know what, this would be a pretty good draft set. Too bad the box is gonna be pretty expensive, but you know, if you can go draft, which I believe should be 30 bucks for draft, but I mean, I'm definitely gonna go for it because it seems gonna be super crazy limited environment. We got tons of like good cards you can pull, commons, even uncommons, and the rares. Any rare or mythic that you pull in draft should like be able to win you the game. But then again, we got crazy cards that other people are playing. They can pull Force of Wills and stuff, whatever you're trying to do, but which makes it an extremely fun and limited format. I wasn't around when they were drafting. The best draft set ever to draft was Innistrad, but I heard it was pretty good. But I think this one might come up with that one. So I'm just gonna go over the spoiler list and see what cards stand out the most for limited or draft, or if you were to pull any of these, would it be crazy? So just look up some commons and uncommons. We'll start with the commons, and then I'll just name some cards that seem pretty good for limited format. Alright, so we got White Mane Lion. It's an alright card. It has pretty good combat tricks. It can save a creature, which I personally had a deck when I first started that ran White Mane Lion, which is that was nothing but a scrub back then, just a little scrub. And I still am, but slightly better with the better cards and whatnot. Then this is going in cutter order too, so you can see what's picking up what. We got Shelter, which is a pretty good card. That's also a common. It's God's Willing minus the scry effect, but you get a draw card, which is somewhat better than scrying. But and then again, could be it's more situational than anything else. We got Seal of Cleansing, destroy target enchantment or artifact, raise the alarm, great combat trick. I think White's gonna have like the best draft commons and uncommons. Oh yeah, and another thing is a bunch of these cards, if you buy a box or if you just buy a couple packs, you can definitely put them, a majority of the cards, in the cube, which is what I'm planning to do, because these cards are absolutely insane and amazing. After all, it is Eternal Masters, so they're printing every card from Magic set except for the reserve list, which is stupid. Curse you wizards. But anyways, we got new counterspell. New counterspell art looks insane. Absolutely beautiful. Pick them up in foil if you can. They will be worth some money. We got Knight's Whisper, a card that needed to be dropped down a little bit for being what it does. We got Reckless Charge is pretty good unlimited, especially with the flashback of 3, just to give 3+1 gains haste, which is pretty good. Keldon Marauders is pretty good in the red aggro strategies. Kurt Ape is kind of too specific for draft, because you gotta have specific, maybe not if you splash green, if you're going for the dual build. Got Faithless Looting. It's gonna be great for those reanimator decks. Absolutely insane. That's gonna be an archetype, so watch out for that. Or if you're building it, go for it, because I plan to build reanimator. This will be pretty sweet. Nature's Claim, a great sideboard card in modern. Llanowar Elf. Fog. They were printing Fog, I don't know why. Fog is it's a weird card. In my play group we hate Fog, and everybody who uses it, you'll get made fun of. Fog is just a terrible card, man. They got Werebear. Werebear's an insane card. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Werebear gets 3+3 as long as you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard. But they hate that they changed the flavor text on it, because on the original card from Odyssey, the flavor text was he exercises his right to bear arms, because he's a human that turned into a bear. Get it? Puns, bears. Put up a picture of the old one. It's a good. I wish they kept that the same, but you know you can't have everything. They reprinted them, which is good. And you know, it's pretty good draft environment. I'm pretty pumped for it. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if are you guys gonna go draft it. It'd pretty be good to go in. I was too, but I scrapped enough money.
Yeah, but you get a $50 bill and spend it all.
Magic's expensive. Alright, we're moving on to the the uncommon. We got Wall of Omens, which is absolutely great as an uncommon, and they're reprinting it, which is pretty good because it has like a price tag of 3 to 4, but you know it's gonna be pretty insane. Swords to Plowshare, absolutely amazing card. I'm gonna be expecting to see a lot of people playing that, especially if Reanimator is a thing. But in limited, the life gain can be like way worse against you. We got Calciderm is a great one. Too bad it doesn't have haste. I hate that it has Vanishing 4, but you can't have everything. Another interesting card for the. I'm just gonna be talking about Animator today. Reanimator. Another good card is Wonder, where if it's in your graveyard, all creatures you control have flying, which is pretty good. So you just gotta get into your yard somehow, and all your creatures have flying, so you can just smack them in the face with your flyers. And yeah, it's like unbelievable how good having flyers in limited is. Another good one for Reanimator too. There's like tons of Reanimator's gonna be the main archetype for this. It's gonna be Reanimator and Mono Red aggro is what I'm saying. But yeah, another good card is Victimize. You choose 2 creatures in your graveyard, you sacrifice a creature. If you do, return those cards to the battlefield tapped. The only downside is that it's a sorcery. It'd be good if you could do it at instant speed, so at the end of the turn you just bring them back so they come into play untapped basically. They're reprinting Necrodol, which is pretty good too. Just removal. It's a Doomblade, but on a creature. It's alright. I mean, if you can find a way to flicker it, it's pretty good. Blood Artist is getting reprinted too. That might make a deck archetype in limited. Who knows? Cabal Therapy. It's gonna be kind of iffy in limited because it's limited. You can't pull multiple copies, so you don't know if they really got what they really got going on. Unless Gitaxian Probe or something like that. Of course, they're reprinting the namesake card, Animate Dead. I have a copy of the old one. I like the old art. I don't know about the new one. It seems kind of weird, but you know, if that's your thing. Absolutely love that they reprinted Young Pyromancer. It is gonna be a powerhouse in limited if you pull multiple copies of them. And especially if you're just slinging spells left and right, you're gonna get 1/1 tokens everywhere. That's gonna be a pretty spicy deck to see played in limited. It's gonna be good, counter spells and everything. You know, I think I might build that now. I don't know. Yeah, this set is pretty good. At first I was kind of iffy about it, like thinking it was gonna be pretty bad, but you know, it seems like it's gonna be a pretty good set to draft. To buy a box, I'm not sure. I'm not even gonna say anything about it anymore. But if you can draft it. It's gonna be. Looks like it's gonna be insanely fun, and you should definitely at least experience it. Let's see what other cards. Price of Progress is pretty good, but I'm pretty sure people are gonna play a bunch of basic lands, so it'll hardly have any effect unless they reprint. They reprinted Maze of Ith as a land. I don't know. I haven't seen the rest of the spoilers. I'm not sure if all the spoilers are out, but I'm just checking the ones that are here. Another great card for the other archetype I was talking about. Mono Red aggro, Beetleback Chief, puts in 2/1/1s. It's pretty great for the cost of 4. You basically have 3 creatures. Pretty pumped that they reprinted Chain Lightning. It's a pretty solid card, but in limited I think it might be pretty bad because they can just actually copy it since red might be a common strategy. Oh yeah, they reprinted the whole Incarnation set, where if they're in your graveyard they get that effect. So for green it's Trample, red it's Haste, blue it's Flying, black is Swamp Walk. I doubt they reprinted him though because Swamp Walk is pretty cheap. It's a pretty weak effect, but they just might have. Oh, another archetype that I guess they're going for is enchantments. Like if you go enchantment heavy, because there's an Ancestral Mask, which is a enchanted creature gets 2/2 for each other enchantment on the battlefield. And if you pull multiple copies of that, that is going to be absolutely insane. You can get a super huge creature just with one. If you get multiple copies of that, then it's going to be just building around enchantments and be pretty crazy. We're printing Mindless Automaton, which is a pretty good card because it follows through with the Reanimator deck type, you know. And but the price of 4 for a 2/2 that can easily be bolted or lightning or anything like that, it's I don't know, kind of puts me off because you're just losing a creature. But you can, on the bright side, you can remove 2 counters to draw a card, which is pretty good. Card draw on limited is the best, even if it's pretty expensive to get it, but anything's worth that extra card. And then also fit in the enchantment aura type of deal thing. Armadillo Cloak, absolutely insane. It's a pretty good card. Multiple copies will definitely win you the game. It's gonna be pretty sweet. Limited environment. Let's go to the rares real quick. Again, the rares are pretty sweet, not too crazy. There's just, you know, the classics like Inkwell Leviathan for Reanimator, Enlightened Tutor, which is pretty good, fixes you up pretty good. 8.5 Tails is kind of weird one because it seems out of place. I don't see why it would be in here. I don't think there's any prominent decks in Legacy using him. Mother of Runes, now that's one. Death and Taxes is one. It uses, I think, full playsets for it, and she's just absolutely insane if you can't stop multiple copies going off. Mystical Tutor, I'm not sure if they're going with the full tutor set here, but hopefully they do because the set's pretty. The tutor sets are pretty good. They get what you need, especially in a limited format where you're only running 1 copy of whatever. I was pretty pumped when I saw Sinkhwa as a reprint. Destroy target land for 2 black. Yeah, it is absolutely insane. It's gonna be really fun to play in limited. It's gonna be like fun. People are gonna hate you for playing that, especially if you have multiple copies. Braid's Cabal Minion is gonna be pretty sweet too. She, especially for those mono black control decks or black and X control decks where you just completely shut them down. Especially if they can't, you know, you can't do anything if you don't have lands. Entomb for that Reanimator strategy. Same thing with Icarid, I believe. Toxic Deluge, I guess, can work. Deathrite Shaman should be pretty good in limited. He's absolutely insane in pre-constructed formats, but I mean, yeah, he's or not pre-constructed formats. Be pretty sweet. And here we get some pretty other good cards. Gamble is used in lands. Santid Swarm is used in some decks. Rarely used, but when it is used, they use it to its best advantage. We got a bunch of elf stuff. Empress Perfect. Other elf creatures get 1/1 +1/+1, and you get to put a 1/1 elf token onto the battlefield. Heritage Druid is getting reprinted. Absolutely insane, but it's as a rare, so it's gonna be a pretty safe bet that you won't be going off with elves. Green Sun Zenith is getting reprinted. Regal Force is getting reprinted. In limited, I'm not sure how it's gonna work, but I mean, I'm pretty sure some people can get that going. Sylvan Library is gonna be absolutely insane if you pull it. Duplicate's gonna be pretty good too. Sensei's Divining Top is, especially if you get in your opening hand each game, I don't see how you can lose. Brago for the Flicker decks, I don't see that much. Maybe an Esper kind of Flicker deck with Belfast Strix. Just draw cards and then keep flickering it back into play. Maze of Ith and Wasteland are getting played. Just destroying. I'm glad with the lot of instruction in here. It's a pretty good set. Seems pretty good. The Mythics Balance is not sure how that's gonna work out unlimited. Could work out to be pretty good. We got Jace the Mind Sculptor. If you pull one, I believe you should win the game. Force of Will, again, if you pull, that should be pretty good. Keep your plan secure for whatever you're doing. Vampiric Tutor is gonna absolutely set you up for what you need to do. Same thing with Necropotence. You easily can win the game with that, just on the field. Draw what you need and then just murder everybody else. Dude, right here, Steamflogger Boss, and he hasn't spiked until who knows when, since he came out in Future Sight, which is weird. But the reason for his spike is this Monday. No, the Monday that has passed recently this week, which is, I don't know what the date is. Omar can put up the date. Wizards released 6 new sets